As someone who is a LinkedIn top voice and has built a community of more than 18,000 on LinkedIn, people often ask me, how do you stay consistent on LinkedIn and post regularly? I recently discovered a tool that can actually help with that. It's called ContentIn. I've partnered with them to show you what it does and how I personally use it. In this video, I'll walk you through the features, show you my real workflow, and let you decide if this is something that fits your content game. If you go on the homepage, which is ContentIn.io, you will see that what they offer is a one-click content plan, even without signing up. So highly recommend doing that if you just want to try and see what ideas ContentIn can come up with. Here they're showing the AI writing feature, which we'll go into detail shortly. And finally, they are showcasing here the scheduling feature that they have. But most importantly, the generate new LinkedIn ideas is another feature that you'll be taking advantage of and possibly using quite frequently, as it will help you with idea generation and creation on LinkedIn. Now, let's dig in the application itself. As you can see, I've already started my pipeline here with already generated posts, as well as those that are ready to be scheduled. So I will show you how I did this and what is the exact process that can help you get there. First, try ContentIn. You have topics. You have to set up your topics and areas of expertise. Now, I have already done this, but I will show you here how this works. In your profile, you can set up any topics of your choice. As you can see here, I've added multiple ones, so you'll be able to add new ones or remove old ones. For example, if I put game development, right, I can add it here, or I can find other topic that can interest me here. It will suggest more topics to discover from there. For example, let's add one of them. So now we have even more topics. The other thing that I wanted to point out is this is where things get interesting. You can add your expertise training files. So you can train the AI on your specific expertise. For knowledge, as they say there, it's knowledge training, it's not style training, but you also have style training, meaning that you will be able to tell the AI ghostwriter how you're writing and your specific tone of voice. I think this could be really handy as you progress through ContentIn and already start exploring it. It would be really nice to also customize it to the maximum to your own writing voice. You also have your target audience here. As you can see, you can really customize that as well. I believe a lot of this was written by ContentIn itself. I probably just told them entrepreneurs, industry professionals, and everything else was filled in for me as well. Now, once you've set up your profile settings for your personal profile, be mindful that you can actually do this for your page as well. So this is if you want to use ContentIn as a page, you can actually do this as well. So same approach, set up your topics, set up your expertise. You can even, again, set up your style of writing as well, which I think is pretty awesome. For some companies, you may want to be more casual, for others more formal and professional. So it's really important to be able to do that as a page as well as individual writing on LinkedIn. Now, let's go back to my personal page. Here in Content Plan, as you can see, I can also set up my default schedule. I believe this is very similar to other social media scheduling platforms where you have essentially time slots. So in my example here, I've set up my days for posting to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So the default slots that it will give me would be for those three days. It's also really important is the category presets, and this is really handy for your own needs to define why you're writing on that particular day. Is it to grow your audience? Is it to share knowledge? Or is it something more personal and just to, again, share more personal insights and insights from your more personal life, which is becoming really popular on LinkedIn as well. Don't disregard that as a topic. Some of my most popular posts have been more personal with some images from holiday or really non-professional insights. So you have the 3 category presets here: authority, growth, or personal, and you can leave it as non-defined. I have chosen to do this. Basically have those three categories, one per post, once per day. And as you can see, you can also set up your default time as well. Now, of course, you may be tempted to write every day, but my advice here would be to start with maybe 2 to 3 times a week, see how it goes. You don't need to overload the audience. And also, actually, LinkedIn itself does not necessarily push posts that does not push profiles that post every single day. So this is not X, right? So in my view and in my experience, posting 3 times a week is more than enough, as long as those posts deliver value to the end user. So they're either informative, educational, or share some other insights that may be really useful to the end audience. Of course, we have the brag posts as well, as I like to call them. They're also very valuable as well. People love, the algorithm loves it, as people love those type of posts as well. So once you've set up your profile in the initial pages of ContentIn, it's time to get going and start creating. So how do you do this? Let's go into the idea section first. As you can see, I already have a few posts here that I've saved to serve as an inspiration, and you can do that through the ContentIn plugin. And I'll show you how to do this in a second. But if we want to generate an absolute new idea from scratch, right, and we want to do this from our topics, I would say that maybe this would be the most popular thing to do, given that you don't have an idea or you don't have a reference to use just yet. You'd probably want to use ideas from scratch. So if we go there, right, we've got our topics. Say I want to do bootstrapping and MVP. I want to choose why I'm doing this. Is it authority? Is it growth? Is it personal? Let's do authority for this. Now we'll start generating post ideas. Okay, so we have a few ideas already. Now we can choose to save those ideas or ask for more ideas. Oh, I really like this one, for example. Yes, indie game devs. We've got harnessing AI, the unseen alien game development, bootstrapping. Okay, let's just pick those very interesting topics that it suggested here. Now I've got them saved, right? So let's pick one of those ideas and start going. As you can see, the post initially is very raw. So what you can do and what you should start doing from here is actually start finessing the post using the AI ghostwriter. From here, I can talk to the AI. I'm sure you're familiar with this, how it's done, but you can essentially finesse and tell the AI to fix some things that you don't like so much. Okay, so actually for this one, it's asking me more about my experience. So as you can see, now let's write some draft. Let's see what's going to happen first and what content gets suggested before I actually feedback with my own experience. What I do like here is definitely there is some really interesting ideas, very truthful to what I normally write. Yes, about indie developers think they need huge budgets. Yes, I really love this. I think it's already written in my style. You can see that it has very spaced out sentences, really, really good, really clear. So you have the best practice as well. That is following more how it's essentially the hook, the structure that's most popular on LinkedIn. And we have a wild card, which is normally a little bit of a crazy, controversial hot take, using all the triggers for social media engagement that work. But let's go back to my style. Now, I overall like what we have here. Maybe some of the metrics are not exactly matching my own metrics, but we can always flesh that later. I think overall, this is very interesting topic that it knows that I'm already writing about how AI transforms bootstrapping in gaming. Absolutely spot on. Something that I was actually going to write about very soon. Very like that was gonna be my next post. Now let's use this draft. Okay, so let's have a look at hook suggestions that we can use, for example. Okay, so we have some really good hooks here. AI just saved me $10,000 in game development. I may not actually use this because I didn't get super happy people when I wrote that one of my last posts. So yeah, 15 game trailers 1 week. Yeah, I actually like this one. So let's go with something more less controversial for the indie game development community. For example, yes, we can do this. Your budget constraints are actually your superpower. Quite like this. Now, of course, you can spend as much time as you want finessing your post here. And what I really love about this, and it's something that it's actually quite simple. But normally what happens is you have to, for styling of your post, like bold or italics, you have to go to third-party tools. You cannot do this in LinkedIn. Now, it's quite important for visual clarity and design to have some of that, right? To have some of the words italic or bold. I really love that you can do that straight within ContentIn. So let me show you. So for example, we can highlight the stats here with bold. Yeah, both here and so forth. So I think this is a really nice feature. I know it seems small, but I think it's a really nice feature that makes ContentIn not even valuable, even if you're writing a lot of your own posts here. I think having the styling is going to help a lot as well. Now we can say things like CTA suggestions. Let's see what it has to offer as well. I think CTA is really important. Okay, so we have some nice CTAs as well. Let's, for example, take one of those here, and of course we can insert it at the end of the post. It's time to add graphics and schedule. Before we do this, of course, we also have the option to preview the post as we see, as we like it. We have the option to preview the post and see how exactly it will be displayed, which is another handy feature that you won't get if you just post directly on LinkedIn. And of course, we have the option to add images, video, or document. Now, you can create an AI image, something that I think I'm not going to go in dive deeper into, because there are many other tools out there, and maybe you want to do this yourself or use your own designs. But I will show you how we can add a file, then schedule the post. So say we have a file available here. Okay, so we've put our image there. I'm just putting a placeholder image at the moment, but yeah, so again, we'll be able to preview how the post will look with the image or video already attached. Now, yet another good feature is the scheduling of comments. So you can do this, you can write a new comment. So you can schedule your comment, essentially adding your first comment to the post. Now, this is really handy tool to have, because often the algorithm doesn't like you posting links in the post. So if you have a link that you want to share, the best thing to do is to do this in your first comment after the post has been published. And with ContentIn, you can do that as well. I believe the first thing to do is to schedule the post, and then you'll be able to also schedule a comment to appear as comment to your post, which is fantastic. Of course, you have analytics tool, and you have analytics tools here as well. Now, Once we're ready with our post, let's pick dates. We can of course pick the next available, say this one here. It's telling me my default times here, but we may do of course other times of the day as we want. We can post now or schedule a post. So once we have scheduled our post, yeah, let's do it. We have of course even more possibilities. Okay, so before I do this, let me go to my plan. As you can see, I've got my slots available. As discussed, we've already predefined the schedule, and I have the areas of expertise it suggests. So we have growth, authority, personal, etc. Now you can again start writing from scratch using the AI ghostwriter, or you can pick an idea that you already have saved or already started working. So of course, let's look at some other ideas as well. One thing that I have here is this post-production area. So in there, I can see my already scheduled posts, but also I can brainstorm some ideas. What I really love, as you can see here, the notification, ContentIn tells me that it has written a new post for me. That just happened a couple of days ago. So this post is located in this area where new posts appear pretty much on a frequent basis. So let's have a look here. We've got some suggestions to be reviewed and then put in production or scheduled. Okay, so if I accept this suggestion here, what happens is that it goes in progress. Now I can preview it and I can start to work on this as we did earlier. And once I'm ready to do this and ready to edit and preview and schedule, it will go into the ready and scheduled. So having this content calendar is really handy thing to do. I know that LinkedIn has already a scheduling feature, but I think the week and monthly view here is adding another structure to your content, and it's something that can really help you navigate and really have that routine that most of us suffer, including myself, right? That yeah, basically this is something that I think ContentIn really can help you with. Okay, after trying out the ideas, the production stage, the analytics stage. So in there you do have of course standard analytics showing your followers, your post performance, as well as the topics, the categories that have performed well or not so much. And interestingly, it's telling you your top posts and your flop posts. I love this. But even further, it's actually telling you your comments, how well they've performed. So you have top comments and flop comments, which is something that I haven't seen anywhere else. And I think it's another thing that it's important. It's important as commenting on LinkedIn could be equally important to posting, or at least almost as important. So you have a lot of analytics in there. You have a lot of breakdowns you can do. And of course, you have your weekly reports as well. Finally, what you have is a feed. How does that work? So in your feeds, you can select people that you want to follow. So in your feed, you have a selection of the posts. You have a selection of the posts of people that you're following. You can do this by actually doing this on LinkedIn. But before we do this, we need to install the ContentIn browser extension. As you can see, I've already installed it, but it's essentially like any other simple extension. Once it's there, it is automatically turned on, as you can see it here. Of course, that means you have to connect your LinkedIn as well. But once you have it on and switched on correctly, then you will see this green icon here on the LinkedIn profiles of people that you follow. So as you can see there, essentially we can add this, you can add any person to your feed to essentially follow their content if you find it very inspirational. You can do that with anyone. So once we've ticked the ContentIn button on top of their profile, Now we should be able to see that person's content in this feed section so that we can really follow and get some inspiration from the person. So yeah, there you go. That happened immediately. I just followed there and I can view all the posts of that person. Or we can comment as well. That is brilliant. So we can also comment. So find your best people, either their competitors or just people that you admire and want to be connected with in your network, and start commenting on their posts. That's a really good use of content. Finally, another useful feature is if you like a particular post from that person or any person, you don't need to follow them already in their feed, you can save that post for further inspiration. So if I do this again, so this is per post, you will see that that post will now appear in my ideas section. So this way, if you like a post on LinkedIn that you just see at random, press that button to have it in your ideas section. It is amazing inspiration for your next post. If you have a sporadic idea for a LinkedIn post, or maybe you don't want to go to ContentIn's website to do this, to post at the very minute, I also even found that the features that this extension gives me really helpful. So what I do is, for example, if I have a post that I want to post from directly on LinkedIn, you can see here that I've got a preview. Okay, so we have our content here, copied and pasted. So once we have this, let's just remove maybe the hashtags. So once we have this, we can preview immediately how our post is going to look, which is fantastic. Of course, we can also attach an image as you would. Okay, so this is how you can also use ContentIn as an extension on your LinkedIn profile. Of course, this is very limited in terms of functionality. I think it's also nice to have it as an option in the rare occasion that you still would scheduling and posting directly on LinkedIn. Okay, guys, so as we saw, ContentIn has so much to offer. I haven't really touched even the tip of the iceberg, but I will leave it at that for the video in terms of the features. Again, just to recap, we have ideas stage where we generate ideas together with the AI ghostwriter or use one of our saved ideas. We have the production stage where we work with the AIs on topics and posts suggested based on our topics in the areas of expertise. We also go and plan our feed per week or per month, and we use the analytics to preview our success as content creators on LinkedIn. And finally, of course, we have the feed that is basically using the plugin, the extension of ContentIn for LinkedIn to save people and posts that we like so that we can follow them or comment when they post. Together, this full package that ContentIn offers is really everything that you need. It really is an amazing tool for anyone to start using and create content flawlessly. Don't hesitate to try it out. I will include the link in the description and in my comments below. And let me know how you find it.